Welcome to the Soft Power Project, a podcast that journals the story of women as they navigate their own transformations. I'm Sherry, a certified coach and your host. In my mid-30s, I made the bold decision to reinvent my life. Now in my 40s, I'm sharing that journey along with the stories of women who inspire me. Like you, we're embracing growth to become our highest selves. Let's celebrate the power of self-exploration, one story at a time. Hello everyone, welcome back to Soft Power Project. This is an episode that I didn't plan, but I know it's important to talk about today. It's going to be a short one, but it's such an important topic. I don't know how many of you have followed me on the IG account that I have set for this particular podcast. It's such a baby account. I think at this very moment, I have less than 100 followers. So come and support. It's soft_power_project. I've started to share the journals and the notes that I've taken from these interviews that I've done with these amazing guests, and also what I've learned throughout my healing process and what had really worked for me. And there were a couple of the posts that I started to put some money in just to play around and see, who I can reach out there. And what's incredibly surprising to me is that one particular post about the 3 healthy mindsets that I've learned throughout my divorce actually generates about 40 something saved so far. And this tells me one thing, is that I know a lot of you guys are going through this. You're going to be my silent reader, my silent listener. And I know you, I see you, I feel you. Not in a stalker kind of way. I know it sounds a bit weird, but I know you're out there. And this is why I really want to talk about this topic today. And I want to talk about why you feel so alone when you're going through a divorce. Why this is such a lonely process. And honestly, it surprised me as well, because if you're looking at the numbers statistically, I think there's so many divorces, right? Divorce rates is going higher, and no matter where you are, looking at the numbers, it seems like it's common, but when you're going through it, it definitely didn't feel that way. It's not something you wanted to talk about with your friends. It's not something you wanted to kind of use as a conversation opener. You feel so alone. And this is what I went through when I first started that process. It felt so alone because getting divorced felt like this complete failure in my life. I feel like I failed as a person, as a mom, as a parent, as a daughter, as a romantic partner, as a granddaughter. I failed this little girl who was sitting in front of TV watching cartoon of beautiful weddings of princess and prince. I just felt like I failed in every single aspect in my life. And that made me feel so incredibly alone. And this is something I also want you to think about, is that if you had a friend that you've witnessed, and this friend had went for this job that they loved, and they went through this rigorous interview process, they got the job, and then they just poured their heart and soul into the job every single day. But at some point, they came across some issue with the colleague or their boss. And they went to classes and they read a lot of books. They tried to improve their own communication skill. They tried to find different ways to be a better leader. They learned different ways to manage up or manage down. They tried and tried for years until one day they realized they couldn't do this anymore. And they decided to move on from that job that was crippling to them. What would you say to your friend? I know 100% you would say to your friend, congratulations, you've done your best. I know it's hard, but oh my gosh, you've done so much. And it's so brave of you to know that even though the next step can be hard, but you have decided to leave something that was toxic, to leave something that's not working for you. So good for you. And I want you to start doing that to yourself. And I know you've worked so hard in keeping the marriage. And I know you had this dream of this marriage, of this family that you wanted so badly. And I know you have done so much to do so much inner work for yourself. You went to classes. You got so many advices from your friends, your parents, even from therapists. I know you tried everything. And oh my gosh, you're so brave to just decide to move on, to move toward something that excites you, and to move away from something that you know it's not serving you anymore. I want you to congratulate yourself right now, because you deserve that. You deserve that so much. You don't need anyone else to tell you. I'm telling you now, and tell yourself how proud you feel. As always, I hope this episode gives you peace, and just know you're not alone. You've got this. Sending you love. I'll talk to you next time. Bye. The Soft Power Project is produced and hosted by Sherry Fang. For any inquiry, please email us at softpower.you@gmail.com.